Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of CR Exposed. On today's episode we are looking at the Young Copper Dragon from the Monster Manual 2025 edition. So let's go ahead and jump into these scales and see how they shimmer. So we're going to start from the top here and take a look at our large dragon with its AC of 17. We will go ahead and throw in the CR right here for a total of CR7, which will modify some things and update to expected values, which is important. We do need to have the expected CR in place. From there we have an AC of 17. Our monster is large, and if you saw last week's video or not, the only reason we update the size is to make sure that the average hit points are correct, because it does update to updates the D10s or the D6s, the dice value. From there we have 14 of these D10s and we add in all of the stats. We have 19, 12 Dex, 17 Constitution, 16 Wisdom, 16 Intelligence, 13 Wisdom, and 15 Charisma. From there, we would normally take a look at the traits area. We only have immunities to acid. Everything else doesn't matter for 5th edition. So we will skip right into the actions and make this a very quick video because you and I both have busy schedules. From there, we will go ahead and take a look at our multi-attack. We have a dragon that makes 3 rends. It can replace 1 with its use of Slowing Breath. Very interesting that they changed this. While this is a young copper dragon, normally there's like a tail swipe, so this is just claw attacks. Fascinating. Okay, we will go ahead and throw the rend attacks into our dice section up here to see how that works. We use 2d10, we'll add in the strength bonus, which looks to be a +4, and that gives us a total of 15 damage on average, as we see here. We don't have any other riders to go with the rend, so we will move on to the acid breath or the slowing breath. So looking at the acid breath, we will see that we are looking at a 40-foot long, 5-foot wide line. On a failure, creatures take 40 damage coming from 9d8, not 9d8, 9d8, 40 and a half. So as you'll see here, if you're wondering why it says 40 and a half in mine, that's because every odd set of dice you have to include a half number. If you were to literally take the average of the dice, so for in this instance a d8, if you were to add up 1 through 8 and divide by 8, you would get 4.5. From there we then go ahead and we'll move on to the slowing breath. The slowing breath will, let's see here, DC 14, each creature in a 30-foot cone on a failure can't take reactions, its speed is halved, and it either it can either take an action or a bonus action as a turn, but not both. So here's the thing about defensive spells and abilities like this. While you can take the time to look up these spells in my catalog here to kind of convert those into effective hit points, you basically don't have to, because they're almost a 1-to-1 for damage. Sometimes there might be a little more coming out from higher level spells or abilities that are defensive rated, but generally speaking, you can just do a 1-to-1. So we're going to focus only on the acid breath and the rends. More than likely, one rend is going to be roughly equivalent to the slowing breath of the same, damage if it had attacks. So we have our rends, we have our acid breath. Let's go ahead and add in these all together. We're going to go ahead and take the rend, times that by 3, since we can do 3 of those. We have our acid breath, which surprisingly enough, actually no, that's the acid breath for 1. We need for 2 failed saves, so we do actually have to times this by 2. Now, the reason we times this by 2 is because in the 2014 Monster Manual, or the DM's guide, you're expected to have 2 failed saves worth of damage, which means technically 4 successful saves, which is 2 failed saves, 2 successes and 1 failure, or 2 failures. It's just easier to take the 2 failures together and get the numbers this way. So right off the bat, we have 45 for our multi-attack, although technically I should have put that down here. doesn't really matter. And we have our breath attack. So let's go ahead and put all these in. Round 1 would likely be the acid breath, or in some cases a slowing breath, which, you know, technically, no, not technically, we could do the slowing breath on the next round, but it should be pretty much equivalent to just 3 rend attacks. We'll go ahead and add those in for rounds 2 and 3, and we see that we are actually not underrated. We haven't done our attack bonuses yet. We have an attack bonus of 7 and a DC of 14. So let's take a look here. We have an attack bonus of 7 and our DC is 14. Normally I would do whatever is greater, but in this instance I might just take the average. So technically 14 in DC terms is equivalent to a 5 attack bonus, and a 7 is equivalent to a 16. So our acid breath is actually a little underrated, or a little lower on the expected difficulty check. So what I'm going to say is, for all intents and purposes, because we are doing 3 multi-attacks while also throwing in a breath, maybe, you know, in general every 3 rounds, I'm going to try a 6. If the 6 doesn't seem to work, we'll look at a 7 just for the sake of things. But what do you know? We actually do have a CR7 dragon here. With the averages worked out, it does look good. If we were just to do all rends, it's not going to change anything. If we just do the, for some reason, if we're just doing acid breaths, let's take a look at that and see what happens here. It's still a CR7, which is great to see. Technically a CR 6.5, but it is rounded up. But there's really low chances of being able to get the acid breath every round, and the damage actually would have to be updated, because then we would be doing 81 points of damage every round of combat. So it looks pretty good. Actually, just for the fun of it, let's see what would happen here if by chance we did get this every round of combat. How bad would that be? Not terrible, only a CR8. But technically we should only see the acid breath every 3 rounds of combat. There's a good chance you'll see it twice in 3 rounds. But, you know, pretty average combat usually only lasts, or should only last, 3 to 4, maybe 5 rounds of combat. So the chances of seeing a second acid breath, kind of okay. I mean, it's 33% chance each time the next round of combat comes up. But in any event, let's go back to where we were here. We'll put in the 6 here for our average. We'll get these back into place just to finish this up. And sure enough, if you get 1 breath and 2 sets of claw rends, you have yourself a CR7 dragon. Bravo, congratulations to D&D for having a properly scaled dragon. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to get this tool for yourself, look at the link in the description below where you can go to my Ko-fi page where you can get the tool for free, completely for free, or you can donate if you feel so obliged to. You can also support the channel in a variety of different ways, where you can also download and check out some of the subclasses I have, like the Ronin subclass, or you can get a bunch of monsters. There's also actual classes that I'm working on, like the Performer class, the Gunslinger class, or the Chemist class, and some others that are in the works. You can also purchase some of the scripts and monsters that I've created for D&D 5th edition or Tales of the Valiant here. You can also become a Ko-fi supporter, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to get early access to videos and behind the scenes content that I'm doing for the channel. Or you can also join me here on YouTube and become a member here as well for, again, as little as much as $1 a month, where you can get early access to videos that I make as soon as they're posted. Or you can also comment, like, share, subscribe to the hundreds of other videos that I have here on my channel. Any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.